everybody. Good evening. I'd like to welcome y'all to the price action recap for February the 15th, 2023. This year getting out of here, man. This year is getting out of here, man. Hey, if this your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, I like to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbit, I still want to say welcome. But I want to give you a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning in and hanging out with me and my homeboy back here. His name is Spidey. He's always back there chilling by the window. If you don't know who I am, I'm just some dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mind you now, a lot of people think I still live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's it. Born and raised. That's it. I'm no longer in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Just want to put that out there because I have people reaching out to me and be like, hey, I'm going to be down there in Florida. I'm not in Fort Lauderdale, Florida anymore. Now, just some dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida that like to tell people to trade what they see. Shout out to Spider Gang. You see what I say there? Hashtag Spider Gang. Speaking of, I don't have my banner. See what it says there? Hashtag Spider Gang. If you would like a t-shirt like this or a sweatshirt like this or any other shirts that you see me rocking, that Spider Gang I said lapel. Check me out. It's a link on the YouTube somewhere that says shop the new TLR.com. If you want a shirt or a sweatshirt. Let me see who texted me. My child. Oh, that's my wife. She had my wife had hot yoga. Anyway, yeah, man. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers. I get on Al Gore's internet every single day, and I talk about a price action dealing with the SP 500. Why? Because I want to help someone like you get your aha moment when it comes to trading, investing, anything, all things stock market. Sound like something you're interested in? Please consider subscribing. We're on our way to 2,500 subscribers. I already told the story of why 25 is like a important number to me. So we are well past 25. So I said, hey, let's shoot for 2,500. Help us get there. It's appreciated. Click the like button. Speaking of stock market, y'all know anytime my financial advisor drops something that I think is, of use. Now, my financial advisor is all about the stats, right? Everything he does is stats driven. He dropped something on his live today dealing with earnings. Let me let him do it. It's the way I sum it up in my head is it's the performance during earnings based off sectors. That's the way I got it summed up in my head. Let me let him say it, and then y'all can look at these snakes. I've been going crazy looking at a whole bunch. This lady right here, she be driving some fire cars. She always be like all the cars she be checking out be like fast and they be expensive. I went down a rabbit hole looking at her videos too a couple weeks ago, and it's like she be driving. It'd be like all these real expensive cars, and they be like real fast. Most of them be super fast because she get in it and and gun it. But they be super expensive. Like this, a $90,000 BMW, be like $200,000 cars, $300,000 cars. But that ain't what I was talking about. That ain't what I was talking about. I was talking about Dustin. Right here. Now let me share the screen so that y'all can hear him. I can't hear. Share. Chrome tab.
I think he'd be extremely proud of me.
Y'all should be able to hear that. Somebody put a one in the chat if y'all can hear the audio on there. Then it just went off.
Guys, today I want you to find a mirror and take a hard look.
I didn't like looking in a mirror. I didn't like seeing pictures of myself.
Y'all put a one in the chat if y'all can hear the audio. Y'all hear about selling the Hershey thing? It's
All right. Want me to delete it? Oh, okay.
Very
All right. Great story. It was a great story. Crude oil, obviously, a little bit weaker on the day. Not bad. It's just, remember, there's the divergence. If you could look at the poor
kid
kid
fell
there,
in the
he's still got
docket,
his
Jay.
mouth open, man.
Is it a kid? Yeah,
there we go. All right.
I hear about that.
Want me to delete it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and hide that. I can control it. Okay. It was a great story.
With the
Crude oil, obviously, a little bit weaker on the day. Not bad. It's just, remember, there's the divergence between energy stocks still being strong, making tons of money, Biden picking on.
Right here.
Going to be if the performance is going.
I think this is it right here. Come on.
But we can look at how, where I was going with this, you got earnings still clicking along.
Okay.
It's tough for me to go over every earnings stock, right? That's just, kind of take a lot of time there. But we can look at how, yesterday we touched on a little bit, and today we can expand on that by looking at how the performance is going. Are stocks in the healthcare sector, are they beating expectations or are they not? Is that the reason they're weak? Is because they're missing expectations? Well, we can take a look at that. Here are the current rates per sector. So green is going to be if the percentage of stocks that beat, or how often a stock beat, and red is going to be how often they missed. So for example, communication services, 55% of the time stocks were beating on earnings, and 41% of the time they were missing. Any gap in that number is going to be where it just came in as expected, so nothing exciting there. You could see that healthcare is reporting strong earnings there, so a little bit of I gave you a little heads up. 20% of them are missing on earnings. So that's why you see a little support there. People are going, okay, I like this pullback then in healthcare. Might point out that utilities are doing the same thing, and real estate not too bad as well. So those three being the better performers. Now consumer discretionary, that turns out that we didn't have such a weak fourth quarter, weak holiday season there. That's okay. So a little bit of a better beat rate there. And I would point out that the worst, or the one that has the tightest spread, is communication services, which is kind of normal. They're not as good as, say, like financials. You see the spread between that and like healthcare, not as good there, but that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, okay, if healthcare is beating more on earnings and that trend continues with what healthcare stocks are left over, have they been performing well on earnings day? Or is that somewhere we want to look, or is it kind of uneventful? We could take it a step further and we can look at the performance here. So for example, communication services, even though they beat on earnings, the average response is a sell-off. So it would not behoove you to have inside information and know if a company is going to beat on earnings in the communication services space. It's not going to work. If they miss, they actually have a positive gain. Interesting, huh? Right? Consumer discretionary, as we mentioned a second ago, if they beat on earnings, you get handsomely rewarded. The average move is 3% to the upside. If they miss, you are smacked, right? Basically a 5% loss. That is the biggest out of all of them. Let's go to healthcare here real quick. If they beat on earnings, it's almost a non-event. So even though most of them are beating, they're not tearing off in the upward direction. So something's still a little bit weak there, right? We can look at a summary of everything to get a good feel for whether we want to go look at a particular area or not. The excitement right now is in materials and consumer discretionary if you're looking for lots of upside volatility when it comes to earnings. Right? I want to point out here real quick. Go back over here. This should work this time. Yeah, the Nasdaq moving average, meaning they're trending or starting kind of hot. What's exciting right now? Where's the money? What are people focused sectors in the market? And we try to do it in a real simple way, just to give you an idea. Do a little summary. Every once in a while, we go through the sectors in the market, and we try to do it in a real simple way, just to give you an idea of what's kind of hot, what's exciting right now, where's the money, what are people focused on. We can look at the percentage of stocks over the 50-day period moving average, meaning they're trending or starting to try to trend higher, and compare that to the market. So for example, communication services has 76% of all stocks in that sector, not a ton of them, above the 50-day, which beats the S&P. You might be able to guess that consumer discretionary, of course, where all the excitement's at, the majority of stocks are above the 50-day moving average. In other words, turning their tide from what happened last year, and that beats the S&P. That does not mean the performance would beat, although that is the case at the moment. Financials, the same thing. I want to point out real estate and tech. Real estate pulling back the kind of the least out of the group there, so not hard for them to trade back above their 50-day. And then we have tech, of course, at 86%. Utilities still weak, consumer staples still weak. So that conversation we've been having about if we believe there's a recession, then why aren't those areas perking up? It's because people currently do not believe there's going to be a recession. Speaking of recession,
shoot. I mean, oh my goodness, where's my mouse? Don't you hate when you be trying to like get control of the mouse and it be, I don't know if it happened if you don't have multiple screens, but like I got 3 different screens. I got 2 monitors and a tablet, and like I be trying to move the mouse and it gets stuck on the screen somewhere and I can't see it. In Hush Robinson, I was trying to find the spot where he was talking about the stuff. Ignore Robinson for a minute. So the first part, like I was saying, he was I like to share stuff like that because everybody that tap in may not want to be a day trader or may not want to just trade price action, but I like to share stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, from a trusted source that I know who uses this type of stuff on a day-to-day basis and do it for a living. You know what I'm saying? Do it with my own personal money. That's my personal financial advisor right there. And it's in a different way. So the first piece I played, for anybody who may have been lost, I didn't understand. He was just showing earnings. So earnings thus far based off of sectors and how they've been performing, right? If they've been missing or hitting, and then if they've been missing or hitting, what is the performance based off if they miss or hit? So this sector over here been, when they miss, they may have been dropping, but this sector over here, when they miss, they may have been going up, and if they hit, they drop, and if they, you know what I'm saying, or no matter if they hit or miss, it's a coin flip. They don't go up or down. It's like a 50-50. So it's a way to give you a chance to like kind of pick what sectors you want to play, what way you want to go look for stocks to play based off the stats. If you're an earnings player, if you like to play earnings based off the stats thus far, that's what the stats are showing. And then the second part was broke the stocks over the 50-day, broke down over the sectors, not just like the entire S&P. Like is the way I take it as showing like a way of showing like a relative strength indicator, you know what I'm saying, based off of what's the name? Shout out Zay out here improving lives. Shout out to Zay, got the 50-day and 200-day ticker. Yeah. Zay do be talking about the 50-day and 200-day ticker, and what I was about to say about that, but it's this right here that that took it a step further to break it down into like a relative strength indicator where, you know what I'm saying, like just say somebody who tap into Zay live and Zay pull up his indicator with the 50-day and 200-day, and then a person be like, okay, Zay, I see we got, you know what I'm saying, we got the stock, we got less stocks over the 200-day. How can I apply that? How can I make that? How can that be applicable? How can I apply that in real life? You know what I'm saying? I see on the chart you saying, okay, usually when we get to this range, there's usually a pullback, or usually when we get to this range, there's usually a rally. You know what I'm saying? I get that, but that's still that's technical. That's still technical analysis. How can I go apply this like in real life, right? So this takes it a step further. That takes it a step further. Okay, I see let me see if I get the chart back up there when he had the chart up. Okay. Make that big as I can. Right. This takes it a step further, right? Oh, yeah. Another reason why I'm going deep into this stuff right here, because ICT did a phenomenal price action recap today at 3 o'clock. And I'm just going to defer everybody over to ICT video on because I could never do a price action recap better than that. Go look at his afternoon video. Not only did he review price, right? He touched on a lot about order block theory. He touched on new day opening gap, new week opening gap. He touched on so much stuff. It's like it's a million gems. If you understand ICT lingo, understand ICT theory, understand algorithmic theory, understand technical science, whatever name you want to give it, if you already got a good understanding of it, there's a million gems in there. If you don't already got a good understanding of it, go listen to it, start to embed it, and the more you hear it, that Mandarin will start making sense. It'll start making sense to you, right? So, what I was saying. So, like, Jay pull up his indicators and be like, hey, when we get to this point right here, there's usually a pullback, right? Voila. Gotcha, Zay. How can I apply that like right now? So you looking at the run, you one of the runners, or you just somebody that's pulled up on Zay Live and Zay showing his indicator for the S&P over 50, like doing the, because he doing the over 50, right? So we doing the over 50, right? Zay pull up the S&P over 50 and Zay saying, hey, usually when we get to this point right here, we usually get a pullback down to here, right? So you like, man, the market been kind of dull. Like the market just been moving sideways. You know what I'm saying? Like if you let me get a chart right here. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want to I'm gonna speak all facts today, right? I'm speaking all facts today. Right? Let's go to the we'll go to the ES, SPX, whatever, right? Let's go to the SPX. We're gonna go to the SPX, right? So looking at the SPX, right? These are daily candles. Let me hide all this stuff over here. Get out of here, right? So looking at the SPX, these are daily candles, right? So from 2023, right here. This is from 2023 up until today, right? So looking at the SPX, right? Looking at the SPX from the beginning of the year, right? We came up, right? From the beginning of the year to February 2nd, we was all gas, right? What have we done since February 2nd? What have we done since February 2nd? All right. Since February 2nd, we have been in a box. You know what I'm saying? What I say we did? We popped, then slid to the right. Pop, slid to the right. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're just gonna count that as 10. The second was like the last day of us just going up. So we'll just say 9. We're gonna give the 10th day to the up because we broke out and took out the buy side liquidity on that day, right? So we're gonna give that to the up. So for 9 days, we've just been sliding to the right, right? For 9 days, we've been sliding to the right. Yes, y'all can still see that, but I'll darken it up just a tad bit. And I'll make it red to make it stand out, right? So now Zay pulls up his did I put in here S5? I think that's it. That's it. That's it. S&P over 50, right? So let's just say Zay was on here. Boom. Got it on the weekly, like you know what I'm saying, like I'm Zay, right? Got it on the weekly like I'm Zay. I'm gonna put it on line charts, on lines, boom, right? And Zay says, looking at this area right over here, we got some pivots in here. Y'all know how we got them pivots in here. You know, I like my pivots, right? This little pivot, that little pivot there. When we get to these pivots over here, you know what I'm saying, that tend to be a sell-off. So right here, if we come to these pivots, so we come to these pivots. Hold on, I got to get my sativa. Hold up. We cut these pivots. We cut these pivots over here, and now we at the pivot, and so we usually sell off. And you see, we went above the pivot, and we can't get past the pivot, so we use the sell off here. All right. Now, how can you use that information? This right here takes it to another level right here, right? So the same thing. Dustin talked about the same thing Zay was talking about. The difference is here, this is just talking about the entire S&P, right? Here, he's comparing the sectors to the overall S&P. So this black rectangle here is the same as this, right? So this right here, then put that over there. Oh, wrong one. That's us. Where did Dustin go? Where did it go? I'll tell you what. Is it doing that because I was in full screen? Okay, there he is. All right, boom. Okay, so this chart over here, and this black line right here are the same thing, right? So looking at this chart, if you say, hey, this is a pivot, we've got up above and we failed that pivot and we came back here and we tested it again. I think we're going to slide back down to this pivot right here. Not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just applying it to real life, right? So we're going to slide down to this pivot right here. Now, how can you use this in your personal trading if you're not a person who is all about technical analysis, technical science, ICT, mannequin body parts, trend lines? You ain't into all of that, right? So you come over here to this right here. You have something like this. This black line is this. These are the 11 sectors that's inside this black line. Everybody who know how relative strength works is if it's the market, let's just call that 68. I can't see that. The market is at 68%. Anything that's higher than 68%, right? The market, 68% of the stocks in the entire market over here were 63 on today. It ended at 63.1. This right here was like 60 something. I can't make out that number. So 63% of the market is over, its stocks in the market are over their 50-day moving average, right? Anything in these sectors that's above 63.81% is relatively stronger than the market, right? Anything below 63.81 is relatively weaker than the market, right? So dig this. If your trading strategy is shorting the oversold stocks, right? Shorten the oversold stocks to try to get the biggest move, right? One thing you can do with this information is, I saw on Sativa Saturdays, they said when we get to this area, we usually get a pullback because we got to it there, almost got there, and then went above it here, went above it there. So we back in that same area, we likely to come back down even if we don't get here, we can possibly come down to this point, because when we came there last time, that was at some more pivotal point. How Zay be saying it? No, he say pivotal, right? He say industrials. Zay say he say what does he say? He don't say industrials, he say industrials. he say the industrials, basically the industrials, he say industrials. Okay, but we could possibly pull back. So if your strategy is to short the overbought, if I said oversold last time, I'm sorry. If your strategy is to short the overbought sectors or the overbought stocks to try to get the biggest run, now you can come into something like this and say, who is the strongest relative to the market? You can immediately see that that is consumer discretionary. It's the strongest relative to the market. So then if your strategy is to short the overbought stuff, then you can go into the consumer discretionary and look for the high flying stocks that's at a point in your thesis that says, hey, this is due for a pullback, and when it falls, it's going to fall from grace. If your strategy is to short the weakness, then you would come over here and say, what sectors are the weakest? Utilities is by far the weakest compared to the market. Then you'd be like, utilities, that moved too slow for my taste. Okay, what else is in here? Healthcare is weaker. You got energy, no, that's stronger. You got industrials, as they like to say. I got to blow this up. I can't see it. Why is it on? Put this on 1080. Let me get me some. There you go. Get that thing crispy. That's why I can't see it, because it ain't crispy. It was on what's the name? It was on like the lowest quality. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Put that thing on 1080. Stop playing with me, man. So you got industrial, that's about the same. So you ain't looking there. So you got healthcare, consumer staples, and utilities. Ain't none of that gonna be no big movers, no fast moving. But if you into trying to short strength, then you could say, based off of the indicator, based off the sauce indicator, we're right at the point for a pullback. Based off of the PPI, it's saying it's time for a pullback, along with the sauce indicator. Based off of the overall narrative, it's time for a pullback based off the sauce indicator. Boom. Where do I want to look for my pullback? My strategist is shorten the strength, because I want the biggest fall from grace. Or you say my strategy is shorten the weakness, because when the market starts to tank, the weaker ones are going to tank faster, right? So it's all about whatever your strategy is. But this right here, with all this extra information, takes it one step farther than, you know what I'm saying, the salt, like Zay brought us to the well. He brought us to the well, showed us how to work the well, and then Dustin came up and played what you call the people that come up to the table and take your order, and poured you a glass of water, because he broke it down to give you a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, guidance into where you might want to look. You know what I'm saying? Whether you short strength or short weakness, just broke it down a little bit more. Because this over here is just giving you the whole kit and caboodle, and this over here is showing you the inner workings of these little squiggly lines. What make up these little squiggly lines? These 11 sectors over here. So, man, getting Zay on. Yeah. So that's why I want to share that. That's why I want to share that. Because like I say, ICT did a fabulous job breaking down the price today, I would just say defer to I'm just going to defer everybody to look at ICT video that want to see a price action recap. Just want to share something that I thought was of value to people that want to trade and use different things outside of ICT techniques or just straight up technical analysis. Hopefully y'all got something out of that. Are there any questions besides who's my barber? Is there any other questions besides who's my barber? All right. While I'm waiting to see if anything pop in, I'm going ahead and wrap it up, man. Y'all already know what the link read. Do not put off till tomorrow what you can say today. All right. If your loved ones are still with us, call them up today and tell them that you love them. When you tell them that you love them, don't just say it, don't just show it, say it, show it, and confirm it. Say it in their love language so that they can receive it. If you're a praying person, stop throughout your day and say a prayer for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? The prayers of the righteous availeth much. Stop and say a prayer for somebody else, especially those that have lost loved ones, those that are dealing with the loss. I tell people all the time, it don't never get easy. We just learn how to stop crying when we lose a loved one. Pick up the phone, call your grown kids. You know what I'm saying? Tell them that you love them. They may not answer like mine, but just do it anyway. Call your mama, call your dad if they still with us. Hey, mama, hey, dad, I love you. Hug your kids, hug your wife. Right? Don't just say it, show it, confirm it. I appreciate y'all as always, man. For anybody that was on this morning and heard me talking about the people that be leaving, I just be curious. But my intention is not for everybody to stay around and hang out at Tim's Tidbits forever. I expect people to come in, get what they need, and move on. Because there's so many YouTube channels that I started following, especially when I was doing video and photography. I don't even click on them no more. I'm just subscribed because I'm too lazy to go unsubscribe. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate everybody that support the channel in a financial way. I appreciate everybody that contribute to the Discord. I appreciate everybody, but I appreciate those that have gone above and beyond and reached out, like Robinson, like Angela, that went above and beyond and reached out and say, hey, this is where we want to take the Discord. This is what we want to do. And they didn't just ask me to do it. They said, hey, this is what we want. And then they did it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't ask me to do it. I say, look at man, y'all do what you want to do. Y'all already know I ain't fun to do all that. I'm lazy when it comes to stuff like that right there. Hey, they made it happen, and the Discord is beautiful. I love it. It's a Discord that I've always wanted to be a part of, and that's all because of all of you that's involved, and then the work of them going through creating the channels, having the thought, cause you know what I'm saying. Some of the members put their wishes out there, and they made it happen. They was like, what you call the dude from Star Trek when he be like, number one, make it so. They made it so. So just want to say I appreciate y'all, man. I get on here and joke a lot, but you know what I'm saying, I got a big heart. And I like to let people know when I appreciate them. Don't forget to check the Discord. Did I say I was gonna check the Discord? Y'all know I be forgetting stuff. Did I say I was gonna check the Discord? What am I checking the Discord? Afternoon live session, ICT. I don't know. Quick one tonight. Yes, have a great night. Oh, here to learn and share. Somebody asked about you being an admin. Did you want to be an admin in the Discord? That was before you started talking about it. Yeah. Did I say something about the Discord earlier? I don't know. But did you want to be an admin in the Discord? Somebody said something about you being an admin in the Discord. Did you actually be an admin? Yes, no, maybe so. So I can go in and get out of here. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. I ate my leftovers from last night for lunch today because I didn't have anything to fix for lunch. Now I don't have anything to fix for dinner. What's up, 100? Now I don't have anything to fix for dinner. I'm going to take the silence as a no. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Again, I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all in the morning for what's tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yes. I'll see y'all in the morning for the overnight price. Till then, man, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your dinner. Whatever you're going to do, I'm gone.